Just on the Bring Success, 10 tips, 10 days for $10. Mr. Marcus Cage, halfway point, halfway home. Clap that up. We've pressed in. I thank you for those who are committed, who have been committed, who have supported the 10 tips for 10 days for $10. That's $1 a day. If you desire to be, or I apologize, if you desire to receive, not get, receive a promotion in your career setting or in your job, this is the program for you. Just been releasing tips since January the 11th. Started on Sunday. We'll complete and finish out January 21st. Today is January 15th. I doubled up a little bit so I wouldn't have to do a tip a day. I wanted to do two. I'm going to release one this evening. Then I'll release one tomorrow. Then that'll take us to day 6 of the 10 tips, 10 days for $10. So we've already started. It is 11:22 p.m. Let's go into it. As a recap, tip 4 consisted of us understanding the purpose of being at the job, just being there, and us being there on purpose. As we said before, there's two different mentalities between being there and being there on purpose. You have one individual with a certain mentality that's just there to get a paycheck, to get prestige, to get a paycheck. Then you have people that are at their specific job settings, their workplaces, on purpose. They serve a purpose. They know their purpose is on the inside of them, and they're releasing the purpose to people that they encounter on a daily basis. They understand that the purpose of them being at a job, which is a temporary assignment, is for the restoration of humanity. When we say restore, we mean restore to its original intent, to restore to its original identity. And we understand as a people we've deviated from our true identity in Jesus, and our job as kingdom ambassadors, as people who are called out and chosen, we're being sent into the marketplace. We've been sent into our jobs. We've been sent to different places to bring restoration to the people that have a wrong identity of who they are. So we can just be there on a job, or we can just be there to pass time, or we can be there on purpose. We realize that as we release restoration, we receive the things that we release to people. So that's a good point. And when we think about that, when we go into depth as we review, we'll understand that when I understand that I'm at a job, a specific location on purpose, I'll take more pride in who I am, not so much what I do, because you have to understand who you are before you can function in excellence. So I take more pride on who God has called me to be than I do myself, who I think I am, and the things that I would do. The identity that I have in Christ supersedes the identity that I had before I met Him. So it's effort put into it, but it's not my own strength. I'm using His strength to get His purpose done at the specific location that He sent me to. Tip number 5, which is one of my most favorite tips. We have 8 minutes. I can go into this tip for days. I've taught it countless numbers of times. I've lived it throughout my life countless numbers of times, and I'm going to give you a simplistic breakdown and try to go into a little bit of depth without going too deep in the tip itself. Tip number 5, know the product and or service your company offers inside out. You or we cannot sell a product or service we know nothing about. In order to sell a product or service, you must know the product or service intimately. So let's break this tip down. When you first come into the organization, there are services and products that we all have to get familiar with. I once was on a call, attempting to call Comcast about an issue, and when the people were selling the product that they had for sale, I could tell that it was a script being read, And then one of my colleagues said to me, well, they read from a script. And my response was, that's not good enough to sell a product, because I'm not convinced that you know the product that you speak upon. So why would I purchase this from you? You can easily mislead me because you don't understand that the product or service that you offer inside and out. If the person did, it would be more fluid. It would be a flow. It wouldn't sound pragmatic or programmed or computerized or rehearsed. So when we come into our organization, we need to know the product or service that our company offers inside out. And that comes through studying, understanding what product or service your company offers and what is the end result that the customer will experience based off the service or product that you're offering to them. What's their motivation for even investing in this product or service? Those are different things we have to know about our customer or consumer. We cannot sell a product or service that we know nothing about. I can't sell anything to you that I don't demonstrate in my own life. So even with me sharing these tips with you, if these tips haven't been worked out in my life, I can't offer them to you. You won't buy into what I say because it's not working or evidence in my life. And that's one of the mistakes that people tend to make. They purchase things tangibly, which is physically, and intangibly, internally. We purchase things by lending our mind to it and lending our conversation to it, because that's what our desires are. We desire to be great. We desire to be promotable. But we got to understand that if you buy something intangibly or tangibly from somebody that does not or has not purchased the product or demonstrate the product on a consistent basis, then it's not legit. Because if you come to them for advice on the physical product or the intangible product on the inside of you, if you come to them with a question, they don't have the ability to answer it because they haven't worked it out through wisdom. So that's key. 11:28. I'm going to go a little bit over because the last tip I went under. I think it was 8 minutes and 28 seconds. I want to give you your bang for your buck, for your dollar. So let's think about this. In order to sell a product or service, we must know the product or service intimately. That means inside out. I know personally, and I'm saying this with humility, I know jobs and careers inside and out because the principles that I teach or share, I've worked them out in my life. There are some things that are still being worked out, but the main hub, the subject matter, God has allowed me to grasp it and issue it out to people with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now, finishing this tip off, when people say they know, sometimes they don't know. There are different expressions of the word know. I can know and have an awareness of something. I know that this cup is in my hand. I know that I'm drinking water. But when I know something intimately, I know how the inner workings, I know how I was formed. I know what the end result of it may be. I can sell this cup to you inside and out because I know the cup. But when I know something, I'm just aware. There are entirely too many people that just know something without having a sense of knowing something with intimacy. Adam knew Eve. That's intimacy. That's something internal. That's something that I invested time with day in and day out, allowing it to germinate or stir on the inside of me. And that's the sense of know that you need. So how do we get to that know? We humbly submit ourselves to those mentors and those peers that's been there longer, that has the wisdom that we need to know. So that's it for tip 5. Went a little bit over the 10-minute span to make up for the last tip. Hopefully, like I said, this is reaching you, it's helping you. If you have any questions, please comment on the YouTube page or the Facebook page. Just on the Brink of Success, 10 tips, 10 days for $10. I will see you soon.